Find Haunt Squad on all your favorite social media sites. Facebook.com/Haunt Squad, Twitter @Haunt Squad, Instagram at Instagram.com/Haunt_Squad, and search us on YouTube. Haunt Squad, 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 Squad.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the most terrifying of them all?
The Countess Dracula.
Jolie!
Have I changed so much? I don't know what's happened to me.
Blood. Whose blood?
Devil woman.
In a world filled with supernatural phenomena, 3 explorers of the unknown answer the real questions concerning the field of paranormal investigation. Vinny Gomez, Natalie Jane, and Mike Wolfer guide you to the depths of paranormal studies, creepy movies, games, and comics, and more from the world of horror and geek culture. Turn out the lights, turn on your EMF detector, and prepare yourself for the Haunt Squad podcast.
Don't you realize that you get uglier each time you get old? And you can't go on killing forever?
Why not?
Ooh, scary intro, huh?
Yeah.
Actually,
you do it the best.
We're lying because I haven't even done the intro yet. This week is all twisted and mixed up and crazy and out of order. Well, first, I'm Mike.
I'm Natalie.
And we are Haunt Squad.
Two-thirds.
Two-thirds of it. What is the thing that Vinny says? We take you through the world of the paranormal, horror, comics, movies, geek culture, something.
Yeah.
Something like that. By now you guys know who we are. For those of you who live outside of the United States, you may not know this, but we recently experienced a natural catastrophe of extraordinary magnitude. It was called snow.
Yeah. It was called snow.
Yeah. A blizzard came up the east coast of the U.S. and it was like the end of the world, pretty much.
Yeah, snowpocalypse.
Yeah. So we are totally snowed in. Natalie and I can't get out of the house. We weren't able to get up to the mansion and meet Vinny up there to the recording studio to do a good quality recording. Hopefully I can clean this up and it'll sound okay. We are recording on one of our little handheld digital recorders that we use on investigations. In fact, this is probably haunted. I think there's a ghost attached to it.
There could be.
So if you hear any weird noises like, oh, or roar, it's a ghost.
Hello? Where are you?
It's not cats.
No, not at all.
Actually, we're surrounded by cats.
We are.
Who do we have in here right now?
Chantico and Freya are joining us today.
Is that it?
That's it. Well, Nyx is stalking us outside the door. Echo, Ringo, and Chaos don't care.
Chaos is quarantined in the garage,
Still,
and he's calling to us, so you guys might hear that. So anyhow, so we're snowed in, and we talked to Vinny, and we said, we're gonna have to take a couple weeks off, just because we're not able to get together, but I can't stand not doing a podcast.
You can't stand it. I know.
I love it. So the focus of this one is going to be just kind of stuff that involves mostly you and I. So first up, TV.
Yeah, because TV.
Yeah.
It's good stuff on TV.
There's a lot of good stuff. We caught the first episode of Legends of Tomorrow last week. What did you think?
I thought it was cool. I thought it was fun.
It's a spin-off like from Flash and Arrow, right?
Exactly.
It's kind of a spin-off from both.
They have characters from both.
And there's a slew of characters. Some are good, some are bad, but they're all together as a team. And they were pulled together by, what was that dude's name from the future?
Rip something.
Rip Torn. No, that's an old actor. Rip Hunter?
Rip Hunter. There you go.
So he comes back from the future and he tells all of these, they're heroes and villains, that they're all legends in the future and they have to all band together in order to stop Vandal Savage.
Yes, Vandal Savage.
He's the big bad guy.
He's the big bad guy. He's immortal.
He's immoral.
He's a big bad guy. He's immortal. I really liked when they brought him into it, because when they brought him into the Flash, I don't know. I haven't watched Arrow. I don't know if he's had. He has been in Arrow.
Yeah.
I've seen that through the crossovers between Flash and Arrow, but I really enjoyed his character in the comics.
Oh.
So that was really cool to actually bring him on the screen. So, yeah.
But there's a lot of characters. There's Captain Cold and Heatwave and the Atom and Firestorm, White Canary, Hawkman and Hawkgirl.
Well, and then Firestorm, it's two people.
That's the two guys.
Yeah, the two guys. The doctor, the professor.
Stein?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's really cool.
It's pretty cool. I mean, I thought it was fun. It had a good, I don't know how to say it, like, other than fun. I mean, it was serious and...
But not too serious. Like,
yeah.
There were a lot of explosions, which I liked.
Yeah. It's got a nice undertone of fun, and I see that in The Flash also.
Yeah.
And I guess a little bit in Arrow, but I think Arrow is a little more gritty than The Flash. But in any case, I keep saying on this podcast, I'm a Marvel zombie. I never read DC. I don't know anything about them. And in fact, I resisted anything DC for a long time. I don't want it. I don't like it. I don't want it. But I said, okay, what the heck? I'll watch Flash. Hey, I liked it. And Arrow, we don't watch that, but we've seen a few when they've done the crossovers, and that seems pretty cool. And this seems pretty cool, too. So if you're looking for something that's just fun, and it's not going to hurt your brain too much, Legends of Tomorrow, it's cool. And speaking of hurting your brain too much...
What?
The X-Files.
Yes, The X-Files. The revival. Season 10.
So we've seen episode 1 and 2 of the 6-episode revival. Okay, we're coming at this from two different angles. You have seen all of the previous seasons, and there was
9.
Like 9 seasons.
9 seasons. And there's a discrepancy. Either there was 198 episodes or 202, according to the internet. I don't even know, but 9 seasons and 2 movies.
93 to...
2002.
2002. And here's my confession, and people have made fun of me on the internet, on Facebook for this. I've never seen the X-Files. I don't know why. Never saw it when it was running. Never saw the, reruns or anything like that. So I'm coming in pretty much cold. Watched the first 2 episodes. I liked it. I thought it was cool. So when I say making my brain hurt, I'm trying to figure out what the heck this thing is about. It seems like the first 2 episodes, they were kind of self-contained stories, but they there's a overlying arc that, ties them all together. I'm trying to figure out what the heck that is.
Well, I think the underlying theme is aliens. UFOs, aliens, government conspiracies, that type of thing.
One of the things they were talking about was that perhaps what Mulder and Scully had been investigating all those years was all a lie, and it was actually not aliens. It was some kind of government conspiracy thing, but
that gets bounced back and forth.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell's happening, but I like it. And you know what? I freaked out when they showed the trailer for next week's episode. It looked like a werewolf or something, or some kind of monsters or something like that.
Yeah.
And then freaking Carl Kolchak from the Night Stalker shows up. And I know it was him because he had that same hat. He had on the same terrible light colored jacket and like, wait a minute, that's Kolchak. My mind's blown.
Yeah. What's kind of cool, though, is that the X-Files has been compared to Kolchak, the Night Stalker.
Oh, okay.
In the past, that kind of thing. Because I read something about Chris Carter said originally he didn't really want the X-Files to be sci-fi.
Oh.
I probably should read these articles, a little bit more thoroughly. But, yeah, he didn't know if it was going to or expect it to be really like that sci-fi, but that's kind of what it developed into. But, yeah, people have reviewers and what do you call those people?
Richard Mulligan?
Camper? People that review. Critics. Critics
yeah.
have compared it to Kolchak in the past, yeah. So that was kind of cool. But, yeah, there's some,
cryptids.
There's some cryptid. The way Mulder described it.
Cats, look out!
And I forget in the preview, but he said, some kind of Lizard. I think he said like 3 different animal names. You know, we're looking for this. Yeah, I know Lizard was one of them. So, but it looked kind of werewolfish to me.
You know what? I'm in, but I'm already kind of disappointed that it's only going to be 6 episodes.
I know.
I like where it's going. And you know what? Here's something interesting. How I said that we're looking at it from different perspectives because you're the old-time fan and I'm the new. I've read a lot of stuff on Facebook. Of course, everybody is putting their opinions out there. And a lot of the things that I've read is, well, it's starting out slow and I'm a little bit disappointed. But you have to consider that it's been, what, like 15 years or something?
15 years.
There's a lot of new viewers who have no idea. There's probably idiots like me out there who have never seen it. So there's a lot of information that they have to put out there to get everybody up to speed.
In my opinion, I didn't find it to be slow. I mean, and if it was, I just didn't find it to be boring. I thought it was still entertaining. Our buddy Lou.
That's true. It wasn't boring.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Our buddy Lou, he said to me, he's like, it hasn't even skipped a beat. And I agree. I don't feel that it has. And what was kind of cool is they revisited the relationship between Mulder and Scully about their son and how they gave him up for adoption. And that to me is kind of the cool mystery. They gave him up for adoption. Well, who has him? Yeah. Who would be knowledgeable enough or understanding enough that if something was in fact going on with him, something alien, something supernatural, paranormal, who would they have given him to? I mean, a total normal family that could potentially freak out. I'm thinking they would have to have given him to someone special, maybe someone we haven't seen, maybe someone from the past. I'm hoping it's Alex Krycek. That's going to blow people's minds because he's kind of dead. But then again, the cancer man, the smoking man, he got bombed by a missile and somehow he lived. Yeah, you were telling me about that. We saw him on the first episode at the end say, oh, we have a problem. They've reopened the X-Files or something like that. Yeah. So if he could survive that, we could see Alex Krycek again. Bring back Krycek. And you know what? This is a 6-episode miniseries, but that doesn't mean that things can't go on from here. I did hear a rumor of a 3rd movie. Oh. Possibility of a 3rd movie.
There was 2 before that, right?
In 98 and 2008. Yeah, this doesn't necessarily mark the end. No, there can be some more stuff going on from here. Just, maybe not as often, but still. This is a real treat.
I wonder if Gillian Anderson would be involved, though, because you were telling me that she had said, one of the reasons that this is only 6 episodes is because she's busy with other stuff and just doesn't, have time. And
she has other
I'm
things
sure
going
after
on.
all the, 10 years or whatever that it was on, you kind of get tired of that and you want to do something new. Regardless of how much the fans scream that they want you back, you have to consider...
She's a human being.
Yeah. You have to consider their feelings. Like, I've done everything that can be done with this character. I mean, I guess we'll see how the ratings go and and see what the money's like. Right. Which is... I read something else that when they first talked about reviving the series, they offered her half as much as they offered David Duchovny. And she and her agents were just like... Yeah.
Surprise!
Oh, hell no.
Yeah,
what the hell? What the hell? But she fought it, and they got equal pay.
Right.
Eventually.
Which they should. They're both lead characters.
What the hell's up with that? Why would you offer someone half as much? Oh, we're going to give him this much, but don't tell her. Maybe we can get her for cheap. Yeah. Bullshit.
I'm just gonna,
But I'm glad she got what she's worth, so... So I don't know.
Most definitely.
I'm impressed. I like it.
Good. I'm glad, because that's another thing we have fun to share together.
Yeah.
And
oh my gosh, just think of all the hours if we were to get all, what was it, 9 seasons? 10? 9 seasons? And watch those back to back? That'd be like 2 days worth of, oh no.
2 days? What?
It's time for Real Talk with Mike Wolfer, covering the world of indie comics from the inside out. News, gossip, and helpful tips for aspiring comics writers, artists, and publishers. It's all right here on Real Talk. Now here's your host, 30-year veteran of indie comics publishing, Mike Wolfer.
All right. So if you're new to the show and you don't know who we are, I'm by profession a comic book writer and artist, and I've been in the industry for like 30 years now. By the way, the music in the background of that Real Talk is It Never Rains in Southern California is the song. And you know who wrote that? Albert Hammond, who's one of my favorite composers. We talked about this on an episode a while back.
Right, his son is in the Strokes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, that's kind of like a kooky Muzak version of that song.
I thought you were going to say Robert Denby.
No, not Robert Denby.
Okay.
Because, he's elusive.
Oh, God.
You're as elusive as Robert Denby.
So, comic book talk. What I want to talk about is Countess Bathory. Mm-hmm. Oh boy, this is a project that's been going on for me and for you too for a year. Mm-hmm. It's a single issue, one-shot book that I did a Kickstarter for, and it's tied in with my Daughters of the Dark Oracle series. And so we're done. It's done. It's finally completed. After a year, it's a 28-page book. It's finally done. It's off to the printer. Here's the story behind this. Hello? That's chaos.
Hello?
The story behind Countess Bathory is, back in 2015, I was working for Avatar Press, and I was seeing less and less work from them. So I decided I need to do something in order to supplement my income.
Feed our cats.
And feed the cats. So I decided to do some self-published stuff. I took my Curse of Ragdoll story that was published previously, collected all of those books together, put that out as a graphic novel, and the reception to that was really good. So I said, well, let me do a new book. I didn't have time to do a whole other graphic novel, so I decided to do just a single issue story and put that out on Kickstarter and work on that while I was working on my Avatar stuff. At the time I was drawing a Crossed Badlands 6-issue arc. So after I ran the Kickstarter, what happened was things changed with Avatar. They accelerated my Crossed Badlands deadlines, and they wanted it, instead of being spaced out over 6 months, they wanted it completed in kind of like 2 or 3. They wanted me to wrap that up quickly. What I didn't know was they wanted to wrap it up so they could dump me.
Right.
Okay? That's what it was. They were like, we're done with Mike Wolfer. We don't want him anymore. Get that book done and out of here, and then see you later, buddy.
See you next Tuesday, all you.
Yeah, so Countess Bathory got pushed back. I wasn't able to work on that book because I had to finish the Crossed Badlands stuff, which I did. And then I said, okay, it's time to now work on Countess Bathory. Well, I didn't have any other work because I was cut off completely from Avatar, which I did not know was going to happen. Now I'm unemployed, and I had to do something immediately to make money, to pay the bills and to feed the cats. Which actually, you feed the cats.
I do. I'm thinking like, oh my God, am I going to have to start dancing again? You know? You see, the again is the funny part because it never really happened. Just so you know. But I joke around with them. I'm like, oh my God, am I going to have to start hooking it? This is terrible.
Oh boy.
Oh God.
I forgot where we were.
Right.
What the hell was I talking about?
Oh boy.
Okay, so I had to throw together a company and start self-publishing immediately. And that requires a whole heck of a lot of work. I mean, you just don't form a company overnight. I had to set up, distribution with Diamond Comic Distributors. And all of this stuff. We went through the whole freaking ridiculous ordeal with trying to get a business license. And it was nuts. Mm-hmm. So I spent all of last year doing business and not drawing because I just didn't have time to work on that Countess Bathory book, which everybody paid me for back in November of 2015 or 2014. Yeah. It was supposed to be delivered in February 2015. Mm-hmm. So it kept getting pushed back. Well,
and don't forget, you got sick and the computer crashed. Your hard drive crashed.
Yeah, we had
some bad luck.
A bunch of crap happened that kept delaying things. What we did do over the course of 2015 was repackage all of the old Widow stuff that I had done. We put out the Widow Archives, which was 4 volumes. It's actually 5 volumes now. And I launched Daughters of the Dark Oracle. The first Daughters miniseries is a repackaging of The Curse of Ragdoll, that graphic novel that I had put out, broken up into 4 chapters. Reviews are great. People want more. Mm-hmm. So I said, okay, let's do more. I figured what I would do is take that Countess Bathory #1 one-shot book and make that the... What the...
She's messing around with the chapstick.
Kittens.
Yeah, kittens. What's that a toy?
I would make that story the first issue of a new Daughters of the Dark Oracle miniseries. So people who got the Kickstarter book are getting this kind of limited edition printing of it with the Countess Bathory logo. But it will also see print as Daughters of the Dark Oracle, Orgy of the Vampires #1, which is going to be 5 issues. So, like, my head is swimming, you know, and I know yours is because we talk about it every day. You turn on the computer and say, what am I doing today? And I say, I don't know, because
I forget what I've completed, where I left off.
We've got all these books that are in various stages of completion. Most of everything that we're doing is all being reprinted. All the Widow stuff is being reprinted from existing printed books because I don't have any of the original artwork, which I wish I had, but I don't. We're having to re-letter stuff or letter stuff from scratch. You've been scanning the hell out of stuff and cleaning things up and whatever. It's been a crazy year. It's been a great year.
Yeah.
And it's been a very productive year. And finally, Countess Bathory #1 is done. It's at the printer and we're going to be able to fulfill those rewards.
Yes.
So I'm very happy about that. Now, the story itself, here's the inside scoop on where Orgy of the Vampires came from. When I was doing the Curse of Ragdoll serial that was being printed in a book called Raw Media Quarterly, way back in, I think it was 98, I had a contract to do a 7-issue serial. They were all to be around 12 or 14 pages in length. Now, one of those, the 5th issue, I'm not sure what happened, but I got the word from Avatar. They said, hey, guess what? You've got like 6 or 7 pages for this issue. We're cutting back. And I was like, holy crap. I can't tell the story that was scheduled to be told with half the page count. So what am I going to do? So I just concocted this short kind of vignette just to fill 6 or 7 pages. I forget what it was. Like, what am I going to do? Okay, let's see. Ragdoll is, the story of Ragdoll is she is created from the body parts of a bunch of different murdered women. Somebody has sewn her together and somehow used science and magic to bring her to life. Kind of a Frankenstein story. But all of the body parts that she's made from have all somehow, magically retained the aura or the intelligence, the
memories.
Soul, whatever,
soul.
of the person who that part belonged to. So she's running around getting revenge on all of the people who murdered all the women who she's composed from. So for that 5th issue of Raw Media Quarterly, I said, okay, let's see. I'll have Ragdoll sitting in the woods thinking, oh yeah, I remember the one time, and she only remembers a brief glimpse of an encounter that one of the women who she's made from had in a convent with some creepy nuns who were doing some creepy things to her. And then at the end, the main nun in charge, oh my gosh, she's a vampire. And I thought, okay, let me up it and say, she's Countess Bathory. End of chapter. I didn't know where I was going. I wasn't going anywhere with it because it was just something quick that I had to throw together. But after we reprinted that as The Curse of Ragdoll, the graphic novel, I was like, man, she would be a really cool character to explore. And the idea of Countess Bathory, that's been done and done and done, in movies and books and novels. I wanted to take it hopefully in a different direction. Now, she's based on, Countess Bathory was a real woman, Elizabeth Bathory. She was born in 1560 and her family ruled Hungary. Now, this is like for real, most prolific female serial killer in history. She was nuts. She tortured and murdered and did all of this crazy stuff, mostly to women, for a heck of a long time. And because of her royal status, they let her go, like people look the other way. Well, we can't touch her. We can't arrest her because her family holds so much power. And eventually they did try to bring her to trial in 1610. And at the time, they figured that she had murdered around 650 people. That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people.
Don't you think that would be the biggest mass murderer in history? I mean, that's a lot of... I mean, it's not killing people in battle or in war or whatever. Yeah. It's just kidnapping somebody and torturing the hell out of them just to, have fun.
For fun. Yeah.
crazy. So I decided with my character,
Cat fight.
there's a cat fight.
I wish people could see this. They're adorable.
Boy.
Oh, boy.
I figured the cool thing to do would be to explore the kooky, nutty side of her.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen her represented in movies and in comic books as being, I don't know, logical and methodical, which all of that is great. But you've got to be absolutely freaking nuts to do that. And if you are insane, then your methodology is not sound. Mm-hmm. It makes sense to you, but to everybody else, it doesn't make any sense. Right. And that's what I'm trying to do with her in my book. Mm-hmm. And of course, the twist is, reports are, and I don't even know if this is actually true, that she would bathe in the blood of virgins because she believed that it kept her young. Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure if that's just folklore, because we do know that gossip went around. People are like, yeah, you know what I heard? I heard she did this, but we don't know if it was actually true. Mm-hmm. But that's the story they tell. And of course, when you have blood, you think vampire. So there's always been that connotation in fiction that, we'll make her a vampire. So, of course, I followed suit and did the same thing. Mm-hmm. And I pulled in her origin story, Vlad Tepes, who we all know as Vlad the Impaler. Mm-hmm. He was another real person from history. Mm-hmm. And that's who Bram Stoker based Dracula on, in part, on the legends of Vlad the Impaler, because he was kind of nuts too.
He was nuts too, yeah.
So in my story, he is in fact a vampire, and he is the one who turned Countess Bathory. Mm-hmm. So she's a vampire, and you know what? First of all, she's a serial killer. She's out of her mind, and now she's a vampire too, and she's immortal. Mm-hmm. The cat fight continues, round 2. So what I've done in Countess Bathory #1, which is also Orgy of the Vampires #1, I took that little 6-page story that was in The Curse of Ragdoll, that little vignette, and expanded on that. Added a whole bunch of pages that happened before that scene and a whole bunch of pages that happened after that scene. Mm-hmm. 28-page book. So for those of you who saw The Curse of Ragdoll, you'll be reading Countess Bathory and go, oh, wait a minute. This is now it all makes sense. I'm trying to sweep up the loose ends and come up with a story. And now after the end of that book, that's going to lead into her encounter with Ragdoll. Mm-hmm. Because she does have a connection to Ragdoll. Countess Bathory murdered a...
Freya and Chantico love to fight.
Wow.
And it is play fighting. No one's getting hurt. They just love to tumble with each other.
I'm waiting for somebody to do a hurricanrana. Wow.
I told you this. The only time Freya growls is at Chantico.
You guys, we're trying to do a podcast.
Yeah, what's the matter with you?
Break it up. Break it up. Go to your corners. Go on.
Be a meatball sub. Let's go. Get in the sliver of sun.
Oh, brother. Well, anyhow, there is a method to my madness, and I'm making it up as I go along. But I think I know where I'm going, and it's going to be a really cool story because, as I was saying before the fight broke out, Countess Bathory had killed a woman when she was masquerading as a nun in a convent. She had killed a woman, and that woman's hands, Bathory chopped her hands off just because. Those hands were later used in the construction of Ragdoll. So Bathory kind of knows, a piece of something I killed is here. She senses it. She goes after Ragdoll to find out exactly what the deal is with her. And it's going to be a crazy showdown. Mm-hmm. It's like a 2-issue long showdown. Issue 4 and 5 is just going to be nuts. But, so there you go. That's my comic stuff. That's what's going on. Mm-hmm. We also have the Widow Progeny series that's going to be launching on Kickstarter. I talked about this on a previous episode. Also, that's a story that was supposed to be published in 1997. I put out 1 issue, and then I signed the contract with Avatar Press, took Widow to Avatar Press, and the series was never completed. So issues 2 and 3 of that have never been seen. So we're putting that out as a trade paperback, a 3-issue series. I'm writing it. First issue is drawn by Carl Moline, and issues 2 and 3 are being done by Roy Alan Martinez. That will be in stores this summer, also in individual issues. So we have a lot going on.
We do.
We have a lot of mailing that needs to be done.
We do.
A lot. We've got the Daughters of the Dark Oracle Gruesome Goodies Kickstarter and the Maximum Widow Kickstarter rewards. Those need to go out. We still have a few Maximum Risk, Widow Archives, and the First Daughters Kickstarters to do. But most all of those have gone out, and we've been getting some really good feedback from those. People are really digging them. So, yeah, shipping hell. That's our life.
It is.
That and cat fights.
Yep.
Let's do this! Now! Ring the bell!
Yes! That's our buddy Dario Cueto. You know what time it is? Time to talk about
Lucha Underground.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my God.
It's on tomorrow. Season 2 premiere is finally
God.
back. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
We haven't been anxious or anything.
No.
No, we've
not in the
only been
least.
just pulling our hair out since August, was it? Was it August?
I believe so.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
I
If
know.
you guys have not seen Lucha Underground yet, I cannot recommend it more highly. If you do not like wrestling, watch Lucha Underground because it's not your traditional wrestling show.
No, it's not like anything else out there.
Yeah, you know, like how much more can we say?
Blah, blah, blah.
It's so different. It's not. I'm not sure what their demographic is, but it's not dumbed down. It's
Right.
not like for kids.
Kids can watch it, but it's not geared toward kids.
Yeah, the production is incredible.
It is. Yeah. The writing is outstanding. The fighters, the luchadors themselves.
They're, yeah.
Yeah. Everything is just like, yeah.
I'm at a loss for words because I'm so excited. We just watched the whole season 1 marathon last weekend.
Oh my God,
which is
yeah.
just incredible and just reminded me of how awesome this show is. And all of the vignettes that they do in between the matches, they are all very carefully staged and photographed. The colors are beautiful in the whole show. Everything is so...
The shadows, the lighting, everything.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that it's vibrant, but the use of darkness is incredible.
The
It makes it
angles,
so
it's- yeah.
rich. Unlike
The other stuff out there.
Yeah, the other stuff that we see where the shows are shot in a big arena, indoor stadium, with incredibly bright lights and everything is flashy and sequins and fireworks and explosions and, you know...
They talk for 5 minutes and say absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
It's just, it's...
The temple itself, where they fight in Boyle Heights, California, it's dark. It's moody.
It's, yeah, ominous. It's...
Oh, my God. I love the show.
Yeah.
I love it.
Love it.
So here's the basic story of what's going on that show. Dario Cueto is the promoter who runs the temple. He has signed all of these luchadors to come and fight in his temple. Now, throughout the first seasons, there was a subplot of a woman named Black Lotus. She had infiltrated the temple because she was after Dario Cueto's brother, whose name is Matanza. And he's kept in a cage. He's some kind of horrible monster. Matanza supposedly killed her parents, right? So she was coming to get her revenge on Matanza. So we saw her sneaking around in the shadows all throughout the season. And Vampiro kept saying, yeah, oh, what an incredible match. Hey, who's the hot chick in the audience? Like, okay,
Can't go unnoticed. Yeah.
Well, Black Lotus finally had a confrontation with Dario and Matanza. And she was captured. And Dario Cueto told her, hey, look, you've been lied to this whole time. It was not Matanza that responsible for her parents' deaths. It was El Dragon Azteca, right? Now, he's another guy who's been creeping around the temple, too.
Since the first episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the very first thing they showed, was a scene with him.
But before Dario Cueto said that Dragon Azteca killed her parents, Dragon Azteca actually rescued Black Lotus, trained her.
That's right.
Right. And
yeah,
then
yeah.
she came back
Well, that's
to
a
kill
vital
Matanza.
bit of
and
info.
then, yeah, you just kind of, skipped over it.
Right.
And that's when Dario Cueto said, no, it wasn't Matanza. It was, in fact, Dragon Azteca. And she ended up killing him.
She did.
She sure did.
And then Dario Cueto freaked out and he said, you do not know what you've just done.
Yeah.
You have started a war. We need to grab everything. He's got to grab his briefcases with cash. He's got to grab the Red Bull off of his desk.
The Red Bull, what's going on there?
I'm not sure what the symbolism is, but I bet there's something. My guess, there's something inside that Red Bull that's very important. I don't know. But they split. They left the temple. They took off with Matanza. They split.
Right.
And Katrina, Mil Muertes, who's now the champion, and the Disciples of Death, who are now the Trios champions, they're all in league together. They've taken over the temple. Yeah. So, beginning of season 2, we don't know what's going on.
The Age of Darkness.
Yeah. Wow. The temple has been redesigned a bit. There's that huge throne thing for Mil Muertes. Oh, my God. There was a lot of controversy this past fall with whether or not the show was going to be renewed. And there were some contractual things going on that were kind of concern. They have already filmed a bunch of episodes, and the premiere is tomorrow night. And this is January. The season ended in August. And when you think about all of the work that had to go into making this season, I can't believe that they actually got it done this quickly. Because they're writing storylines that are going to last over the course of an entire season. So we're going to be watching this show up until, like next June or July or something.
Now, there's 27 episodes this time around?
I think
something
that's what they
like
said.
that,
Yeah.
Okay.
So the fact that they put that all together like that quickly, incredible. And the quality is top notch. Yeah. So there's a lot of really incredibly talented people on that show.
And we have some, new faces. Some that
we
know, some that we don't.
Yeah.
That have not been revealed yet.
What's that dude's name? The sleazy guy?
Oh, Joey Ryan.
Joey Ryan?
I'm not familiar with him. People that
know.
watch wrestling, other shows, know who he is, and people keep commenting, he's bringing sleazy back, King of Sleaze, and
Lucha Underground posted a picture of him on their Facebook page. I hate him already.
I know. It's like you want to hate him so badly.
I don't know. He might... I don't think he can unseat Delvar Davari as the biggest jerk. I love that guy. Apple juice. Apple juice.
Which was in fact iced tea, according to Chris DeJoseph.
Yeah.
It was iced tea he was drinking.
I don't care. It's
they
apple
did some really
juice
cool
to me.
live tweeting when they were doing those little mini marathons. I think it was like 5 episodes they were showing every was it Wednesday or something?
Yeah.
Chris DeJoseph told a lot of really cool inside, secrets and stuff, things that were going on behind the scenes. That Big Rick was smoking an actual cigar.
Sure.
That was pretty cool. Yeah,
sure.
But it wasn't apple juice, it was iced tea.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well...
Whatever.
Like I said, it's apple juice to me. The apple juice chant is going to stick, just like the baby nuts chant.
Baby nuts
would stick with
Hernandez. Poor Sean Hernandez.
Unfortunately, he's not going to be on this season, as far as we know.
I enjoyed him.
Yeah, he was fun.
He had the best walk ever.
Yeah,
he did.
strut.
That strut. What is it? Yeah, strut.
Who else is new?
We have Rey Mysterio. We did mention him before.
Oh my God, yeah.
Rey Mysterio. He's the big deal.
He's a freaking superstar. I can't wait to see what they do with him. There's that other guy, Darewolf.
PJ Black. Yes,
he's a new guy. There's some others that we've seen mentioned, but we're not really sure if, what capacity they're going to be on the show. Because I don't want to read anything on the internet about anything because there's spoilers out there already. I already saw one.
There's rumors about 2 new female luchadors, and I don't want to know. I'll find out as we watch. But you do see there are 2 new female luchadors in the season 2 teaser.
Yes.
There's a woman with pigtails, and she's knocking out Blue Demon. She comes right at him hard. I'm like, oh my God, what's that story about?
Yeah.
And then there's a woman, she has on like a turquoise kind of mask, and she's doing this crazy jump really, really quick. I can't tell who they are, so.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't wait to find out. Our buddies J-Man and Urban, the last real heels.
Do better.
What?
Do better. Just leave it at that.
Oh, that's a little inside joke. Something that went down at the temple.
BJ Heels.
Anyhow, if you want to know anything about this show, you've got to listen to the Last Real Heels podcast.
Yeah,
and
it's incredible.
You can find that. It's lastrealheels.com, right?
Mm-hmm. They're on Podomatic. I believe they're
Yep.
also on iTunes. They have a Facebook page. They have a Twitter page.
And they've been interviewing people like crazy.
Left and right.
They had Vinny Massaro on, who's freaking hilarious as hell.
Yeah.
They interviewed Hernandez.
Mm-hmm.
Shane Strickland, who's Killshot.
Yep.
He was on. Angelico, which I haven't listened to that one yet.
Those were just released yesterday.
Yeah.
Angelico and Jeff Cobb.
Jeff Cobb, who's playing Matanza, who we never saw Matanza in the first season.
Yeah, and this isn't the first thing he's ever done. He is a professional wrestler.
Mm-hmm. We've got our menu planned for tomorrow.
Yes, we're making a special Lucha Underground feast.
Hell yeah.
Enchiladas Suizas.
Okay.
Mike's will be filled with some kind of carne. Dead shit.
Yeah.
And mine will be filled with a blend of cheeses.
Oh, boy.
But yes, we're going to make enchiladas, and we're going to have
So we should get a box of cheeses?
Box of baby cheeses? We love Modern Family, and we love Sofia Vergara. Who doesn't? But yeah, rice, some arroz, and I think we're going to make, though, not the yellow. We're going to make kind of like more like the orange colored. I'm such a terrible Mexican. I'm only part. It's terrible. Like there's certain things I know the names. I don't know the names. Just smack me with a chingadera. But because I can't figure out the name.
Oh, I got my special beer.
You do. You have your
brother.
San Miguel. You had to go around the world for that, baby.
Brother.
What a man will do for a cerveza.
San Miguel is my favorite beer. It's brewed in the Philippines and imported from the Philippines. I lived there for a few years, way back in the 1920s. And
Stop it.
And I have a hard time finding it here in Delaware. And then it totally disappeared. And I asked a few liquor stores, and they said it's no longer distributed in Delaware. So I had to drive to freaking Maryland through the snowstorm. And I did. The day after the blizzard came through, I said, I'm going. I'm going. Which Maryland is only about, I don't know, like 10 miles away, something like that. 10 or 15 miles, 20, 30, who knows. But I found it. I grabbed 3 6-packs. I'm ready for Lucha Underground Season 2 premiere.
Yes, and Mike's only had 2 of those beers. Mike's not a big drinker. He's not a big drinker. I actually blame myself because I've brought wine into his life. If it wasn't for me, he probably wouldn't be drinking wine or whatever. But,
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, but wine is good.
It is. We're Moscato freaks.
Yeah.
We like our Moscato. And I bought some Evian Tequila Silver.
Oh.
I love, that's one of my favorite tequilas, and we bought it about 2 weeks ago. I bought mine about 2 weeks ago, and I told Mike I'm not opening this until the Lucha Underground Season 2 premiere, and Mike didn't think I could do it.
I didn't. I keep checking it every night.
It's unopened.
to check the safety seal.
I'm not doing it.
So those of you who follow us and follow us on Twitter and watch Lucha Underground, Natalie's going to get tore up tomorrow night. And I can't wait to see her tweets at Dollface Fatale.
Yeah.
Or you know what you can do?
What?
Get on Twitter and just type in hashtag LuchaClick. LuchaKliq.
Yeah.
And you'll see all of our stuff come up.
And Lucha Underground as well. We normally hashtag that as well. But I honestly don't think I'm going to do too much live tweeting because I want to pay attention. Maybe during the commercials or something. But I really want to pay attention. I'm so friggin' excited.
Yeah. I can't wait. One of the matches they announced is going to be King Cuerno against Phoenix.
We don't know when it's happening. We just know that it will happen, correct?
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I'm assuming it's tomorrow because they showed a picture on the Lucha Underground Facebook page of those two. But that whole Gift of the Gods thing, right? That was part of the Ultima Lucha at the end of last season. The gigantic, oh my God, it was crazy. Was there like 7 of them fighting in the Gift of the Gods match? Phoenix won. He got the belt, and he has to defend that every time somebody challenges him. He has to defend it, and if he loses, they get the belt. I don't know what they get, immortality or something. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's gorgeous though.
It's
a beautiful belt.
Yeah.
That would fetch a pretty penny at the local pawn shop.
Oh boy. Oh God.
So we're psyched.
Yeah. So tomorrow on the El Rey Network, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Season 2 premiere of Lucha Underground.
Yep, so we're breaking down. boy. In the last couple of episodes, I've been leaving that clip out, the we're breaking down thing, but we got a special request from Gilbert Rodriguez. It's like, I kind of missed the part where you cry.
So there you go, Gilbert. Just for you.
So that wraps it up. The only other thing we want to talk about is what we do on Saturday night. Svengoolie.
Yes.
Our pal Svengoolie, who is on MeTV, if you guys get that channel. He's like a old school horror movie host. Like the guys from the 70s, they were so awesome. They come on and they announce the show and they do little bits in between, commercial, during the commercial breaks. Svengoolie's awesome, man. What's really cool about him? Rich Coase is his name. He does his little singing bit where he sings some song that's about the movie that, that he's showing that night. There's, what's that thing's name?
Kerwin.
Yeah, the chicken. I don't understand the whole chicken thing, the chicken throwing and that whatever. It's their gag and they've run with it for years and it's a staple of the show. But
yeah, people send in jokes from all over and Kerwin picks one and tells it. Kerwin.
What did we watch last week? Dead Man's Eyes.
Yes.
With Lon Chaney. There's been a lot of cool movies.
A lot of good stuff
lately.
has been on.
Dr. Cyclops.
Yeah.
Which was freaking ridiculous. Guy shrunk down people and they were like little tiny, like little puppet people. Not to be confused with Attack of the Puppet People, but it was the same idea. Deadly Menace was on. The Mummy's Hand.
Yes.
What was that one? The crazy ass gorilla one? The Monster and the Girl.
I really liked that one because that
cool.
wasn't even really horror. It was a crime film with gangsters and it was noirish.
Yeah.
It was really, really good. Yeah, I enjoyed that.
With a guy whose brain is planted into a gorilla?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it was believable up to that point. That was cool. Monster Go Home.
Monster Go Home.
Which was the full color Monsters movie that they made. That was crazy.
That was pretty funny.
The Mole People, which is, the best part of the Mole People? Other than John Agar and Alan Napier, who played Alfred in Batman. The best part was that dude at the beginning, the science lecture. Yes. The movie opens with the professor standing in his study with a map of the world and the world. And,
he's got the
and they go down and down and down to the center. And
people went crazy on Twitter with that guy.
And he did actual like school films or whatever, like educational films.
Yeah.
I thought he was just some dude they pulled off the street, but he had a whole career doing that and fondling globes.
Yeah,
well,
that's what he was doing. It was kind of creepy.
Next week, or this Saturday, is This Island Earth, which you haven't seen.
I haven't. No, he said it was really good.
Yeah, it's actually a good movie, and that's the one with the Metaluna mutant, which you see this guy on T-shirts and posters and stuff, and he's got that big giant veiny, brainy head and weird eyes and his like claw hands and stuff, and he's cool.
No, when I saw him, I have some of my urban vinyl collection. I have some figures that closely resemble that, so I wonder if that's
I have to dig those out.
I think it's a secret base, so yeah, we have to go check those out.
You know what? You know what's the best movie that Svengoolie has shown in the last couple of weeks?
What?
King Kong Escapes.
Gorillas! Yeah.
That's one of my favorite movies. I love it. It's terrible. But it's got Mecha Kong in it. He still didn't win. No. This is like the 50th time I've seen it, and Mecha Kong still... He got broken into a million pieces at the end. Yeah. I was hoping he would, pull out something at the end and...
I don't think I would want to see that.
Well, whatever it would be metal, I'm sure. So.
Well, just like Full Metal Yakuza. Okay, anyway, let's just keep going.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's going to wrap it up for this week. Next week, I think we're going to do the same thing because of the incredible freaking snowstorm and the calamity that's happened around us. We're not going to be able to get it together again to do next week's episode. So you and I will record, and you know what we're going to talk about? The whole episode's going to be about Lucha Underground.
I know, it is.
Which Vinny's not, Vinny's not really into it.
Yeah,
so.
He doesn't watch it, so
we've tried. We've twisted his arm, and
it's available on so many different outlets now. Not just El Rey.
Yeah,
Sling or
that's another cool part about
they're expanding.
Yeah, the whole controversial thing with, are they going to do another season? Are they not? What's going on? Part of that was the negotiations with getting it on other, not networks, but other services. And they're in Canada now, which is great. Yeah, Lucha Underground's taking over the world.
Yes.
So, until next week.
Stay spooky.
Stop looking into my eyes like that.
You're sexy.
You are. It has to go on there at the end. It does.